almost incidentally on the podcast there that you were writing a children's book. So not just an artist, but also an author. Tell us about that journey.
I've been working on this children's book since graduate school. So this is late 90s. And I could never find the ending to it. And finally, all of a sudden, last year, I said, no, I know what it's going to be about. My mom had always said before I went to sleep at night, I see the moon sees me, God bless the moon, God bless me. And my parents both were really avid storytellers and read this book. So I knew it was about the moon. And when I started doing these vanishing murals of endangered species, I thought I can combine the two. I have all these drawings of these, like the koala and these. So I had this idea of this vanishing moon and these like species, but in a very odd, curious children's book that the type I like. They're just kind of hard to capture, but yeah, just really excited to do the illustrations and write this story about these vanishing creatures, but in a very odd, curious way.
Yeah, because there you have your other talent as an artist and now illustrator for your own books too. So you can save a bit of
Yeah,
money, but I don't have to
yeah,
pay an
yeah,
illustrator.
yeah.
So what's the time frame for this, and do you have a working title for it?
The working title is Vanishing Moon. The time frame, I have these projects going, so I have it on my table, and every so often I'll just kind of draw on it when I
Mm.
have a free time. And it's very short, so I don't have a publisher for it. I'm not even sure how to go about that, but that's something I've really been um, something that means a lot to me is this
Yeah,
children's book.
yeah. And is it going to be mainly illustration led? By the way, it does sound
Yeah.
like a Chinese title, Vanishing Moon.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, very little words, mostly illustrations.
I
Yeah.
love it. And how big is
Yeah.
this? If it's going to be a children's book, how big do you see it as? Hard pages, not paper, but harder paper pages, cardboard pages. I'm wondering what age group
Um,
you're aiming for.
um, the age group. I like children's books that adults like too,
Ah,
when because I still read them.
uh-huh.
Um, I could see it being a little haunting. So although I read all kinds of books when I was younger, yeah, maybe seven to adults.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well, we look forward to that then. Vanishing Moon. Have you given yourself a deadline? If you don't have a publisher, you don't have that imposed on you. But do you have a
Yeah,
deadline you've
yeah,
imposed yourself?
yeah. No, but I think that's a really good idea. So I'm say, because I have the words that I can finish it before my next birthday, which is next July.
Next
So
July, right?
I'll do that. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
belated happy
Yeah.
birthday, by the way. You just had a birthday as we record. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. 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 Thank you. Yeah, I'll make sure I finish it by next July.
by next July. Maybe we should circle back and do another video next
Okay.
July and
Yeah.
we can talk about the completion of your
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
book. Do you have another book in mind for when you finish this? Could this be a series?
I, this book, I could see the next one being in written in Hawaiian, and I would get
Ah,
a translator and cultural advisor to kind of take what I've written and the drawings I and advise so it would be in Hawaiian, or I also see it being a digital book that could be more dynamic. So I could see that template, but bringing other people to kind of take it into other directions.
like animation?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So books. Now, we didn't talk about films, but you did mention you were a Star Wars fan.
Yes, yes.
So is that your
My
preferred genre?
no, actually no.
No.
No, I just remember seeing that my dad, I can still see the theater. We stood in line. I don't know, it was 1980. Like we stood in line
Uh,
for hours. And I just remember that I just wish they would take me away. Like I wanted to go to that galaxy far, far away. And yeah, I not necessarily that type of um genre, but yeah, films, music, books, always an escape.
yeah. Is it still? Are those things still an escape for you?
Oh, yeah, I probably don't read as much as I used to, but yeah, I think I find it more in my own art now,
Mm-hmm.
but always a way of, processing, escaping, and looking for that joy in day-to-day life.
You mentioned earlier in the podcast, with the books not being a collector because of all your traveling, and having to ship these things all the time,
Mhm.
art and books. Books are so darn heavy. So, did you have a collection of art books, or is this something that you'll now be able to do now you're settled? Is this your last
Uh,
move, by the way? I mean, on the island anyway.
yeah, I think, I have a storage unit that is mostly full of books. I kept all my art books, art theory books, and kids' books.
Okay,
So I do have those.
okay,
Yeah, they're very sentimental.
yeah.
Uh,
What book would you grab off the shelf then if you had a quiet hour to sit in your favorite chair and read, or just flip through the pages of something that is of sentimental value to you?
wow, wow. There's some children's books that I really loved. There was a whole series of books that were published in Hawaii, and one of them was a Japanese folk tale, Urashima Taro, and that was a story of this fisherman who had somehow gone underwater. But the time he came back to his village, like a few hundred years had gone by, and he was the only one. Maybe an old man remembered his family, but I
Mm-hmm.
remember being very struck by, you know, that idea of, and it kind of illustrates the four seasons, and that illustrates. I remember that poignant, time passes and seasons change, and that book really has inspired me.
Do you love art books? Do you, would you collect more?
Yeah,
Yeah, big coffee table
yeah,
books, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I have to tell myself not to buy them if I go to a museum store because I
Yeah,
do love them.
yeah.
Yeah,
Whose
yeah.
work do you most admire? If you had a choice of going to a gallery or an exhibition, uh, do you have any favorite artists now that you think, oh my gosh, they've got an exhibition, I must go to it?
Oh, well, so my thesis teacher who passed away, Jillian Jagger, if she had a exhibition of her work, I would fly to see it. She lived in upstate New York, and she had moved there, and she creates art using fallen logs or deer carcasses. Like it was
Oh
basically just
gosh.
whatever she found in nature. And when I was her in her thesis class, I didn't really resonate with me. I thought I was a pop artist, so our work was really almost the opposite in nature, but we're very close. And I now I see how her work has inspired me, and I
Mm-hmm.
wish I could tell her how much it has, and that idea of loss and nature being something that's a constant and creating art. I remember once reading her writing said she create art for her is like a boat, and she wants to hold on to people that she's lost in that art. And I took so many notes as her student, like 5 really fat notebooks. I almost wrote every word because I knew one day I would want to look back and see what it meant. And now I see, yeah, it's her work is amazing.
Music. We've only just touched on music a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
I always like to know what, if since you're not going to share what you're reading with me now, share what
Yeah.
your music would be. What do you have you played an instrument yourself? Have you been musical?
Not, I mean, just very, very little, like when you have to in school. Okay, so it's embarrassing, my playlist. I had to like, but I, I love 70s yacht rock or 70s easy listening. And when we moved to the first time to Sacramento, my mom would just, she's super adventurous. I remember she would put us in the car and just drive for miles. And I remember there was a big sky and the stars, and we listened to 70s easy listening. So when I work on art, that's what I do, because it just instantly kind of calms me down and brings me to that really expansive feeling.
That comes into your studio then. That's your
Yeah,
go-to, is
yeah,
it?
yeah, 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 yeah.
I love that. And do you sing?
No, I do, but not really, really badly. I do sing in my
Karaoke in the
studio
car?
though. No, no, no. Oh yeah,
Never?
yeah, in the car,
In the
yes,
car?
yeah, in the
On your
car,
own or
yeah.
with the boys?
Yeah, probably with the boys, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They're
Do you
only them.
do you get to choose your music in the car, or do they have to have theirs?
Okay, so we have this game now where each of us can choose 3 songs and then it goes on to the next person. Because
Okay.
otherwise it would be entirely country, entirely 70s or whatever it is. So,
What would be your karaoke song in the car if you were on your own?
oh, um, I love America. I love ABBA, Dancing Queen.
Yeah. Loud.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Oh
love
my
that. We
gosh.
all have
Yeah.
that, don't we? I think,
Yeah.
it's like being in the shower. It's the most private time. I mean, yes, somebody
Yes.
could drive by and look at you as, you are out of your mind, but everybody does it. I mean, we
Yes.
don't
Yeah.
care what we look like because, hey,
Yeah.
we're in our space
Yeah.
and we're singing
Yeah.
our music at the top of our
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think we all have those go-tos, don't we?
What's your song?
Oh gosh, do I have a song? Oh, I have several actually. I have one very uplifting when I'm driving. If I just need a change of pace and like just something to lift me, it's going to be Mama Cass. It's getting better.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah,
I love that.
because it's a really upbeat, optimistic, and it might be you've come from the dentist or a medical appointment or something, or just, or you just had a bad moment and this, like, okay, it
Yeah.
is getting better. It's getting better.
Wow. I
Yeah,
love that.
I
Yeah.
think that's
Yeah.
60s. That maybe 60s is not, maybe 70s, maybe 60s. But yeah,
Yeah.
I
Maybe a
have
little,
so many.
yeah.
I have so many actually
Yeah.
when I think about it. I've never been asked before, but I do have a lot of
That's a good one.
go to. You like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's being positive and optimistic, and that is my nature. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I
I
love
can't reach those
hearing that.
notes. Don't get me wrong. I can't reach
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
notes.
Yeah. Hmm.
Well, Jana, this has been so much fun. I've really enjoyed talking to you, getting to know you a little bit. I'm going to imagine you singing your 70s songs and your dancing queen in your car when you're driving. What do you drive?
I have a Honda CRV. It's the most dirty, almost beat up car. But
Do you know, I knew we'd get to some point where we had something in common, which we already do, but we both drive a Honda
uh-huh.
CRV.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yes,
Oh my God.
yes.
Oh, I
Mine's
love that.
mine's a
Yeah.
2017. I bought new and I've taken good care of it, and it's taken good care of me.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so great. I bought it new to 2014, I
2014.
think.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love it. It would be hard to let go. It becomes like a friend.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. You're sitting
Yeah.
in that space. It's your own playlist. It's your
Mm-hmm.
world, right?
Yes.
Maybe
Yes.
thinking about what you're painting or what you're going to paint next. I think
Yeah.
as
Yeah. Driving for
artists,
sure.
right,
Yeah.
we are constantly, that is our creative thinking time, isn't it? When we're not singing.
Mm-hmm. It is. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Driving. Yeah. It's almost a meditative space
it
when you're
is.
driving.
It is. I didn't ask
Yeah.
you about cooking because you've got all this wonderful tradition in your family: Japanese culture, Chinese culture, Hawaiian. Are you a good cook? Do you like cooking?
I'm okay. I'm not like my parents cook with love. I
Uh-huh.
no. Last night I opened a bag of chips, ate that, um, and then some fruit that I felt like I should have. So I'm nothing like it. Oh, no, I'm an okay cook, but
What would the boys expect? What would be their favorites if they had two?
oh, I used to make this like lemon roast Garten chicken.
Oh,
That was But I think before I had kids, I would cook, very elaborate
uh-huh.
meals or have plants, that creative, it's tough to do more than one. So now all mine is into art. So
Yeah,
I cooked a lot more when I had kids in the house.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Now it feels more of a chore, does it? But if you're only cooking for one,
Yeah.
it's hard when it's
Yeah.
just for one,
Yeah.
cooking for one.
Yeah. Yeah. Learning what to buy. A cabbage is better than lettuce. It lasts longer, just
Right.
small, small things.
We all have to
Oh,
deal
God.
with these everyday decisions, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jana, thank you so much for joining me here this week. It's been lovely.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed our conversation. I really appreciate your questions, and it made me think about a lot of the choices I made. And um, it was really rewarding to speak with you.
Thank you, thank you. And don't forget to go over to your podcast app now and listen to the full episode of the podcast with Jana and me. That's on any podcast app where you'll find art. And of course, we'll be back next time with another episode. So do join us again. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and download button too. And follow us on social media at the Art Podcast. And Jana what's your Instagram, Jana?
My name Jana Ireijo, but you can also look me up on Vanishing Murals. And so
Okay.
the two of them are the Vanishing
No,
Murals is probably easier to remember and
that's
find.
easy to remember.
Yeah.
vanishingmurals.com. And don't forget
Yeah.
the new book coming out next year,
Yes,
Vanishing
yes.
Moon.
That's good.
Thank you so much, Jana.
Thank you so much.